Okay, we are going to work on 3D figures, area and volume, and this is going to be part 1. So 3D figures, part 1. Today is 5/9. So hopefully you remember the difference between area and perimeter. Area is how much space across something, and perimeter is how much around. So we're going to be focusing on area, and we're going to be focusing on area of 3D figures. So we're going to actually draw some figures, and that's partially why I gave you the graph paper to help you make easier figures. I want to go over some vocab first. And the first vocab I want to go over is the word vertex. And a vertex is the edge where two lines meet. The second word I want to go over is face, which is the side of a 3D figure. And the third word is edge, and an edge is a line that makes up the shape. So we're going to draw some of those figures, and we are going to identify the vertexes, the faces, and the edges. I will be using a highlighter just to highlight those areas so you can see them better when we draw them. Okay, the first 3D figure we're going to start with is a cube. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line that is 2 boxes by 2 boxes by 2 boxes by 2 boxes. And then I'm going to go 1 box over and 1 box up, and I'm going to start another line. And then I'm going to join to make a cube. And a cube has all the same sides. A cube has 8 vertices, and vertices is the, I don't think there's an I there. I think it's just this. I don't know. I think that's what it is. V-E-R-T-I-C-E-S. I could be wrong. But vertices is plural for vertex. And the vertex is the edge where 2 lines meet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. Basically the corners. A cube has 6 faces, just like a dice. Each of these are the faces, and I'm not going to color them all because then I would be coloring everything. And a cube has 12 edges. So it's all these lines that we drew to make up the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Rectangular prism. A rectangular prism is basically a 3D figure of a rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a 2 by 3 rectangle. And then over here, I'm going to do a 2 by 3 rectangle, and I'm going to connect. It can also be so that it is facing upwards. The shape of it doesn't matter, or how you look at it is going to be different. And a rectangular prism, just like a cube, has 8 vertices, 6 faces, and 12 edges. Go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Edge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the faces are the same. The faces aren't the same, do not have the same area. But they are still faces nonetheless. So as you can see, I'm going to have 4 of these long rectangular faces, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 on the side. And then 2 of these smaller rectangles. Triangular prism is basically just half of a rectangular prism. So if I were to cut this rectangle in half, I would have a triangular prism. And they're a little bit harder to draw, but we can still do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 3 by 2 triangle and a 3 by 2 triangle, and then I'm going to connect them. And you can see that it is half of a rectangle. It has less vertices, it has less edges, and it has less faces. And we're going to look at all of those. So, 6 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The edges 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine edges, and then 5 faces. And of those 5 faces, we have 2 that are triangle shape, and 3 1, 2, 3 rectangle shape. Two triangular, 3 rectangular. In order to find the surface area of a cube, I have to find the area of one face and times it by 6, because there are 6 faces. So basically I'm taking this face and saying how many it is 6 times. So if I tell you that the base times the width is 3 and 3, the area of one face is 3 times 3, whatever it is that they give you, whatever number it is you're working with, which is 9. And then I do 9 times 6, and that gives us 54 units, or whatever it is, centimeters, inches. I'm just saying units because I didn't label it. And we always write it squared, because that's what it is. It's a square. It's all of those faces squared. It's a side by a side. Remember, a 2 times a 2 equals 2 squared. 3 times a 3 equals a 3 squared. That's why we use the little square. The volume, nope, I'm not going to do volume, just surface area. Sorry. We'll come back to volume. You should know volume though, because we've talked about it already. Okay, so the surface area for a rectangular prism is going to be well, I'm going to give you the numbers and then I'm going to show you. Let's say the base is 3, which we did here. Oh, it should have been 2 up here because I drew 2, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Let's say the base here is 3. The width here is 1, 2, 3. It's 5. And then the height is 2. So this edge is 2, this edge is 5, this edge is 3. This back rectangle here is the same as this front rectangle here. So it's going to be 2 times 3, right? The 3 on the bottom here is the same as the 3 on the top here. 2 times 3 is the area, and I have 2 of those faces. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And then I have these 2 side faces. This is 5 by 2. Five by 2. This side piece. And this side piece is the same as this side. So there are 2 of them. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. Now all I have left is this bottom and this top. And the bottom is 5 by 3. 5 by 3. And I have 2 of those. 1 here on the bottom, 1 here on the top. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. And to get the surface area, all I have to do is add up all the area sides. So 12 plus 20 plus 30. And the faces here are 2, 4, 6. So I know I have all the faces. 30 plus 20 is 50. 50 plus 12 is 62 units squared. To find the area of a triangular prism, the area of 3 2 triangle pieces plus the area of 3 rectangle pieces. Those are the faces. We're adding up all the faces, the surface area of all the faces. And to find the area of a triangle, I do the base times the height divided by 2. So it's the same as a rectangular, like a rectangle or a cube, except I'm dividing it in half, because a triangle is half a square or half a rectangle. So if I tell you that the height, here's my height, this little piece right here, I tell you that it is 3, and that my base here is 3, and that my side here is 6. The height times the base is 3 times 3, 3 times 3, divided by 2 to get one of them. But because I have 2, I'm going to add 2 together. I don't have to divide. But hopefully you'll understand that. Okay, so face 1, 3 times 3 divided by 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. I do it for this side. 3 times 3 divided by 2 is 4.5. But when I add 4.5 by 4.5, I get 9. So if I just figure out 3 times 3, which is 9, then I know I have both faces. Then I have to do the 3 rectangular faces. And my rectangular faces here are 3 by 6. And how many of those do I have? 1, 2, 3. 6 times 3 is, or here, I'll do it this way. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus the 9. My answer is 63 units squared. Your side here might be different than the bottom. It depends on what kind of triangle it is. So you might have to do a 6 by something else on this side. Just know whatever it is, it will be labeled. This side or this side might have a different measurement. And if that's the case, then you just do the side by whatever this side or this side or this side is. So you're adding up all of the areas of the faces to find out the whole surface area. And that's how you do that. We'll go into volume in part 2. But right now, you're going to practice all of the surface areas. Should I give you an example? Yeah. Here's your to-do. Find the surface area. Okay, this is 11 inches by 5 inches by 6 inches. 5 by 6 by 11. So I want, and it's not, remember, 6 sides. Find all those sides and add them up. And don't forget to put inches squared for your answer. All right, try that on your own and we'll discuss it.